our February Book Nook, where I'm going to share some of the storybooks that we have in our collection that have really caught my eye lately. So the first one, I can't recall if I've shared this in a book nook before, but it's David Catro's My Dog is Best. I love I Ain't Gonna Paint No More and some of the other books that David Catro has illustrated. This one, he's written and illustrated, so I'm kind of a sucker for Catro's style. This one features a little girl who loves her dog. Her dog is best. My dog is best. Reread. My dog is best. She is brave. So when this book first came in and I was exploring it, I was like, this is a great book for 2 and 3-year-olds. It's very simple, the repetition of My Dog is Best. And then you can look at and talk about kisses. My dog is best, he likes kisses. My dog is best, she can sing. But another great thing about this book is it is targeted for late kindergarten through early first grade readers. So it's got some phonics information and it's meant to instill confidence while helping early readers develop vocabulary, fluency, and comprehension, things that kind of lead to reading success. So the phonics, for example, featured in this book are a lot of CVC or consonant vowel consonant words like can, dog, hugs, some long vowels and some variant vowels, some blends, some inflectional endings, some sight words, some syllables, and it's got a little bit of a guide right here inside the front cover. So I love this book. It works great for our toddlers and our preschoolers, but also for our early elementary kids who are learning to read independently. So this is David Catro's My Dog is Best. The next book is written by Bob Shea and illustrated by Zachariah Ahura. It's titled Who Wet My Pants? And I love Bob Shea titles, the humor. They usually feature a big, blustery, seemingly overconfident character whose insecurities and fears are addressed and also dealt with positively at the end. This is another one, Who Wet My Pants, featuring a group of what looks like scouts, outdoor nature scouts of some sort, out on a camp out. But oh dear, Bear has discovered that his pants are wet and he wants to know who's responsible. So he has to be a detective and figure it out. It says it's not the crime, it's the cover-up. So if you like to laugh and you like to deal with things like wetting your pants in a humorous way, Who Wet My Pants might be a great title for you. Also, Zachariah Ahura, you may recognize this style. Zachariah Ahura also helped to develop the new Arkansas PBS kids character, Carl the Collector. And if you'll notice here, this raccoon scout that is in the book, I forget his name in this book, does look an awful lot like Carl the Collector. And I'm excited because we are going to have a Carl the Collector event here at the Faulkner County Library in Conway on February the 22nd. So if you like Carl the Collector, or you like this style of illustration, or you just want to come and have a good time, come join us at the library. It's a Saturday, I believe. The next book I want to share with you is titled Cookie Time. It is by Jessie Sema, who also wrote Not Quite Narwhal and Perfectly Pegasus. Now, this book, I would say, is definitely aimed at elementary ages. It would be a great read aloud to some early elementary and maybe for some older elementary, read independently. But this is the story of 2 kiddos who, Kat and Ari, who love cookie time with their grandpa and their dog Biscuit. But you all know waiting is very difficult. So what do Kat and Ari do while they're waiting? They build a time machine so they can jump forward in time to when the cookies are ready. I mean, that was the plan. but accidentally they went so far forward, they went past when they had already eaten the cookies. So then they want to go back to after the cookies are made, but before they're eaten. But that was the plan. But they went back too far to when they were little bitty toddlers. So they have to reset the time machine again and again, trying to get to the right spot. And you guys, they go to the future when there's cookie time with no waiting. It's not quite right though. There's another one. Oh, the illustrations in this, by the way, I think are just beautiful. But there's a really sweet one. Hold on. I need to show you. Oh, yes, when they go to the future. I don't know if they explicitly realize it, but they see themselves in the future with their little ones. Oh my gosh. And there's a robot dog. And they finally go back to exactly where they started and wanted to be, and nothing was missing, and everything was right. Well, except for Biscuit, the dog, who has figured out how to use the time machine. And you guys, this past page is precious. But anyway, that is Cookie Time by Jessie Seaman. The theme for the 2025 Summer Reading Extravaganza Program Challenge, all the things, is Color Our World. And one of the books I was looking at to get ready for summer is precious. It's titled Time to Make Art by Jeff Mack. It's time to make art. What art will you make? And the book is full. The opening question is, time to make art? I have a question. When I make art, does it have to be perfect? So you can make art any way you want. That's what makes it perfect. Yeah, does art have to be perfect? Where do you begin? And awed by the endless possibilities, a young girl begins asking meaningful questions about creating art. And she's answered by a diverse group of artists. And that's what I love about this. From Michelangelo to cave painters to Mondrian to Frida Kahlo, who she asked Frida Kahlo, how about scary? Can art be scary? And Frida says yes, if making scary art makes you happy. There's some other ones. There's some indigenous artists here who make things out of wood. Can art be something that is of use? And there's some examples there. Can art ever be pretty and ugly at the same time? How is that possible? It is just full. It is a very, very cute book. How long will it take to make art? You've got Keith Heron going, a minute. And somebody else, a tattoo artist or an indigenous tattoo artist, I think, going 100 hours. It is just fabulous. I think she asked Andy Warhol a question in the grocery store about art. And then in the back, there's a little description of all the artists who help answer her questions. Stone sculptors, Chuma Hafez artists, we already mentioned Frida Kahlo, Georgia O'Keeffe, Hieronymus Bosch, Vincent van Gogh, Friedman, we mentioned Eric Carl's in here, Nick Cave, because Nick Cave is also famous for his sound suits and noisy sculptures that hide inside who wear them. It is just, anyway, it's cute. It's not a book that I can probably use in story time, but it is great for some arts programming, for just talking about all the possibilities of art. And for our last one, sorry if I've droned on too long, I just get really excited about children's literature. You Are Not Sleepy by Mark Teague. Now, Mark Teague, you may be familiar with, is the illustrator for the How Do Dinosaurs series written with Jane Yolen. This one features a little piggy. Look at that pig. Now, story time is over. It's time for a nap. But, you're not sleepy. You try to get comfortable. But the room is too bright. So you got to pull down the window shade. But then the room's too dark. So you got to get out your flashlight. But oh my gosh, the flashlight attracts moths, so you got to open up the window so the moths leave. But then the birds outside are very loud and they're too loud for sleeping, so you got to put on your headphones. But the headphones are playing dance music, so you got to dance. But then dancing makes you thirsty, so you got to get a glass of water. Then the water spills and you got a mess, and then you get the hairdryer out to clean up the mess, but then you got to dry everything, and everything's very cozy. And then the cat comes in and wants to be cozy, but also cozy and play. She wants to play too much, then you got to calm the cat down. So you read her the story, and it's a very long story, and it's very soothing. So when story time is over, it's time for a nap. It's just a very sweet, very cute little book for those toddlers who are coming into that pre-K age group. Thank you so much for sticking with me. I hope these books have given you some ideas about some titles that you might want to check out and borrow from the library, or made you think of some other stories that you would like to read and discover together. Until next time, I guess I'll just say goodbye. Bye.